Thank you for tuning in. Today, we want to see 9 reasons Donald Trump is best for Africa and Nigeria. On the 9th point, there lies the main point. You don't want to miss it, so stick around. Hey, wait. Before you crucify me, let me tell you a quick story. 2 days ago, my unlettered hand rang my phone from Nigeria. Listen to our worries, as I quote. I learned there's a president in town pushing and ready to deport immigrants from his country. Do you have your papers, or we should include this in our prayers? I smiled. Who is that Nigerian that will tell you his immigration status abroad? Anyway, I'll tell you the replies I gave her in a minute. So stick around. Thinking through our worries, I said to myself, so indeed, the news of Donald Trump, his personality, and his antics is no longer news in every nook and cranny of the world. Wow, what a man, what a president, what an ideology. Many questions began to fly all around my head. How bad is Donald Trump really? Or how good is he, if at all, and to whom? Let's dissect this story. Mr. Trump was a president of the United States of America in 2017, so his person is never new to the American people or the world at large. Rather, overwhelmingly, he was voted back to power for yet another 4 years. Unlike many other criticisms you might have listened to or that his person has accrued over the years, are there any lessons, if any, that Africans and Nigerians can learn from Trump's emergence all the way in America? Today, we shall be looking at 9 main reasons a Donald Trump is long overdue on the continent of Africa and in Nigeria more formidably. Let's look into them one after the other. Firstly, the major favor a Trump may do African leaders is treating them badly, yes, badly, so they can possibly get back to table for a real business of true governance, rather than allowing yourself being once again dubbed a lifeless president overseeing a shithole country, or rather than being subservient to another state for survival. Someone somewhere may just have a change of heart to govern the right way. It's a matter of shame on those that could feel ashamed, seeing your subjects or their subjects, their countrymates, being handcuffed, leg changed, and tagged criminals while being taken back to their fatherland. These persons are the reason you are called the president in the first place. I hope Nigerian leadership, and indeed the African leadership, will buckle up to repatriate Nigerians and their Africans alike awaiting deportation to avoid being treated like common criminals in the language of Donald Trump. Secondly, listening to Dr. Reuben Abati, an iconic broadcaster par excellence and scholar of a huge repute, he sarcastically said yesterday, and I'll quote him, "People say America is God's own country. Trump says God is not here. Go and find God in your own country."
America is God's own country. Now Trump says, well, stay in your country. God is not here. But go and find God in your own country.
Well, God is telling you, go and find your own God. Our God is for God, for us. You go and find your own God. It's Trump's.
This statement is so true. Everyone can find God in his or her own terrain. Even though the above statement was from some contexts, the meaning is just exactly what it is. Do Africans need be in another man's land to acclaim some success? Being in another country may not be new to history though, but begging the question are the desperations at which the so-called underdeveloped countrymen and women rush at seeking a basic life from outside of its continent, despite the undeniable riches on the African soil. So, a Trump is a checker in this instance and an eye-opener to the obvious. Why can't you fix your own country? For only you and your people at least. You remember the story of my aunt's call from Nigeria I told you at the beginning? This is my response to her. I gave her a dangerous smile as I responded this way. Firstly, my hand. All these Nigerian prayers do not and cannot solve immigration problems. EOD. End of discussion. Also, how many of the Nigerian clergymen have been able to solve the perennial economic problem and unending hunger facing the nation or the continent? Or can't same prayer or some prayers solve Nigeria's economic problem of joblessness, for instance? Yet, they call for more prayers and fasting day in, day out, year in, year out. This is the period at which some of them are going through the yearly routine of fasting. Anyway, this is some delusion. I told her, and we ended the call. Let's continue with number 3 reason a Trump is best for Nigeria and Africa. Has anyone wondered that a Trump may not likely be so desperately interested in the resources of Africa, natural or solid? Trump wants America to develop further in Americans' own capacity, not through some clandestine moves of lording, if you like, over the African resources. Global trade or no global trade.
You don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will...
I mean, while the Sahel African countries had to put their feet on ground against the neo-colonialist actions and presence of France amongst other European powers, Donald Trump is mainly interested in America. And we have seen some very horrible instances of African looters hiding and laundering money far away in the West with some sort of insider connivance. You steal money and keep it in another man's country. Isn't this the greatest country sabotage and treason anyone can commit? Trump's America is always a no-no to such a disgrace. Face your country, he would say, and I will face mine. Let's check out the 4th leg of this story. Trump is too concerned with his domestic affairs that he doesn't have time meddling in the local affairs of many African countries. From history, it was same Obama-led administration that hosted Muammar Gaddafi, thereby destabilizing Libya till today, a decision Obama himself later came to regret. For Trump, however, what is his business meddling with internal affairs of other states beyond deporting those people whom he considered immigrants back to where they belong? Why aren't you subscribing yet, if I may ask? Let's go to the 5th point. The 5th point. Trump has overemphasized the fact that he doesn't care about any other country but America. For this is the only reason his people voted for him yet again. He wants America that is only for Americans. To this end, he will concentrate all his efforts on building the country known as United States of America. Trump, by his action, is saying he's tired of being a big brother to his fellow sovereign states. Everyone should answer to their father's name. Doesn't this lesson resonate a whole lot with Nigeria as an instance? A country that can barely feed itself, yet doing some charity to some other people across its border in the name of a big brother Africa, a clearly out-fashioned foreign policy. The 6th point. African countries clearly need a leader of Trump's personality that will concentrate only on building his own country. A true leader will build Medicare in his country for himself and other government officials to attend, just as unto other citizens anyway. Not a leader that doesn't see anything wrong in flying to another man's country for a Medicare, as currently the practice in Nigeria. Trump is doing exactly what he is voted to do, and he had promised he will do. His major mandate, no pretense, we want our country back. Number 7 is anti-multilateralism. Trump had campaigned on his person that he doesn't believe in multilateralism. He's not interested in others' environment. All he wants is his immediate environment. By some fiasco of presidential executive order, Trump has pulled America out of World Health Organization, irrespective of whose ox is God. A popular content creator, Aproko Doctor is known as, was reeling out such implication in a recent tweet. But Trump is saying, kindly stand on your feet. I won't spoon feed anyone. Else, go hungry, go sick for all I care. Fix your country and fix your people. Trump is not going to go all the way out of his way to help Africa, Mexico, Guatemala, Colombia, or its people. It's none of his business. And no pretense about it. America first and America first. Why should Trump or any American leader even care about Africa? Just why? What can you bring to the table as a leader and as a country? Whether his government style is dubbed government of the rich, plutocracy, or not, does it even matter? Even in Nigeria, as an example, only the rich class have been at the helms of affairs, yet they care less about the survival of that man in the street. Number 8, cancellation of aids. At this stage, you and I know that African leaders don't deserve any single right to start begging for foreign aids, for foreign loans or grants. Over the years, African leaders, Nigeria included, continue to soar highly on foreign debts. Many non-informed individuals have only tendered a face value argument in favor of foreign loans. The question they are quick to say is that loan is good, borrowing is not bad. The question to ask thereof is, can you as an individual lend finances to another fellow individual without understanding a genuine cause for the loan, with certainty of what good use is the continued debt being put to? Always, majority of the foreign loans have ended up in private pockets of Nigerian rulers. I mean, who borrows heavy loans only to pay himself and his cohort some humongous salaries, benefits, and emoluments without giving a hoot even to the citizenry. With the hypocrisy of the Western lending institutions, they keep up the lending, simply to police the underdeveloped countries.
Their foreign debt in dollars means that they have to somehow sell something that the United States wants, not what they want. I think the most evil organizations in the world today are the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund.
For Trump, however, he's not interested in being part of the usual debt deals, of giving handouts to African leaders who continue to present themselves as beggars. Go and fix yourself, he would always reiterate. The number 9 and the final point, deportation and birth citizenship. Though the U.S. birth citizenship is a constitutional matter and may need to go through some legislative ideals, one fact is all these are pointers to how imminent it is to make your nationality a thing to respect and be proud of. Come to think of it, how did the US or the West entirely attain such a high level of pride that almost every person from many parts of Africa and Asia want a second nationality against all odds? Why can't Nigeria or Ghana build a Rwanda kind of pride for its citizens? Trump's action is inadvertently making sure everyone puts their country first. Trump has made it clear he doesn't like you as foreigners. No pretense around it. Make your country work and bid him a farewell as well. On a final note, why should Nigeria not have a leader of Trump's stance, who would campaign on Nigeria for Nigerians only, and who will devote his true time on same execution and delivery, just as true to his words? Anyway, these are just my thoughts. What would you say? What is your position on Trump and how it relates to Nigeria or Africa in general? Let us meet in the comment section for any of your position or opinion, and if he is good or is outrightly bad, either for Nigeria, for Africa, or for the world in general. If this production is of any good to you, kindly subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Until I see you on the next ordeal of life, thank you for listening.